Hey guys, what's going on? So, as many of you may know, Sony just revealed a new PlayStation 5. Now, typically I don't make videos about tech I don't own, but I do have a PlayStation 3, I skipped the PlayStation 4, and I do plan on getting the PlayStation 5. So I wanted to make a video talking about my initial impressions. I looked at the unveil video, I looked at the hardware, and I just wanted to give some of my thoughts, my impression about the hardware, and how I plan on using the PlayStation 5 when I do get it in my possession. So let's get into that right after this. Okay, and I'm back. So if this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. This is Tech in My Life. My name is Ewan Henry, and what I talk about on my channel is tech that I use in my home on a day-to-day basis. I touch on some of the advantages or disadvantages and the all-around usefulness of technology in my home. While you're here, take a second to hit that subscribe button. While you're at it, be sure you hit that notification bell so you guys can be informed whenever I post new videos or whenever I go live. So, let's get into this PlayStation 5 business. Now, like I said, Sony just revealed the PlayStation 5. I'm sure many of you guys may be aware of this. I'm sure a lot of you have probably watched the trailer. And while I am not a huge gamer, I do game. I've been known to waste several hours playing some of my favorites. Now, one of my all-time favorite PlayStation games is Gran Turismo. So when I had the PlayStation 3, I still actually have the PlayStation 3. I still do play Gran Turismo on occasion, and it's just a beautiful simulator. It's really well put together. Polyphony Graphics is the parent company that put together the video game, and it's just a spectacular video game. And when I was playing it a lot with the PlayStation 3, I had just got my Panasonic Plasma 3D TV, and I was able to use 3D goggles to play the game in 3D. And it was just a ridiculously awesome experience. 3D right now, of course, VR is the next step, but 3D to me was just a really big deal. So jump forward now, looking at the reveal video for Gran Turismo 7 on the PlayStation 5, utilizing ray tracing, getting those reflections. And I mean, even before that, even before the implementation of ray tracing on the PlayStation 5. And if you don't know, that's just the technology that allows more realistic looking reflections on metallic and mirrored surfaces and things like that. It really takes gameplay to the next level. So in the PlayStation 3, that wasn't there, but I was able to get some of that on my PC. I do have a fairly nice PC, and on my PC, I play Project Car Racing. I do like that. And I have a 2018 F1. So as you can tell, the big thing for me is driving simulators. I love driving simulators. It's just so ultra realistic. You know you're in a video game, you don't get all of the senses, you don't get the inertia of driving a real car, but just the visuals, it is very stimulating. So, like I said, on my PC, I do some driving simulator games there, but I am still looking forward to the experience on the PlayStation 5. So let's talk about some of these games that I plan on getting. First and foremost, because I love driving sims, Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 7 looks awesome. Then the next two games will probably be for my son, which would be Ratchet and Clank and Crash Bandicoot. He loves Crash Bandicoot. He has that right now on his Nintendo Switch. And lastly, for me, would be Spider-Man Miles Morales. So those are like the initial games we're gonna get off the bat. The model I'm gonna get is not the digital only version. I do plan on getting the version with the disc player. And my reason for that is I like my 4K Blu-rays, and that's actually the reason well, there's two major reasons I skipped the PlayStation 4, because I felt like the technology was out when the PlayStation 4 was out to get solid state drive, and a 4K Blu-ray player into the PlayStation 4, and it didn't have those two things. So I skipped the PlayStation 4. Now the PlayStation 5, along with a tech sheet that's just ridiculous, that's some people say on par with a really nice PC, and I would tend to agree with that. The difference is with the PlayStation, you're not going to need as much power as a PC because the games will be able to be optimized for the PlayStation. Think about it this way. The same way Apple has a hand in the creation process from hardware to software, and they can optimize those two things to work really well together. The PlayStation in some aspects is similar. The developers that's going to be creating the video games only have the PlayStation to work with. So they're going to be able to optimize those games to take advantage of all of those parts in the PlayStation. Whereas with a PC, from one PC to another, you know, they can be vastly different. So when you're playing a video game on a PC, that video game maker might be making it to just play at a base level, you know, minimum requirements. Whereas the PlayStation, those requirements are pretty much standard across the board. So you'd be able to really max out the potential of the video game. So that being said, I do believe that the PlayStation, it's definitely not a one-to-one comparison with the PC, but I think the graphics is just going to be off the chart. I think because of the specs, because of the solid state drive, seeing things like games booting up in 1 second, you know, that's just going to be ridiculous. So as a video game player, I'm sure we all agree at this point, the PS5 spec-wise, gameplay-wise, graphic-wise, I'm sure they're definitely going to be off the chart. Dare I say next gen. The looks of the PlayStation, I don't really care for. I see it standing up and it's meh. Me, I'm going to lay it flat. I don't really care for it. I don't know how functional the fins are. I don't care. What I care about is the I/O, the HDMI, USB-C, and just that those things are either current gen or next gen, giving a bit of future proofing. You know, one of the specs is that the PS5 can handle 8K videos. Great. I don't know at what frame rate or any of that, but it shows me that they're forward thinking. Of course, you know, you expect nothing less from, you know, a current video game console, but they're definitely forward thinking, and, you know, hopefully I'm going to have the PlayStation 5 as long as I've had the PlayStation 3. I've had the PlayStation 3 since it came out. I still have it. Granted, when I turn it on right now, it sounds like a jet turbine. I think as soon as it's available, I'm going to put in my pre-order. I already know what I'm getting as far as accessories go. Me and my son, my 8-year-old son, we've had many of discussions as to what we're going to get. And of course, he wants everything. And I'm like, yeah, we're not getting everything. He wants the camera. No. There was a recent leak that showed the price. So it gave me an idea like where I'm going to be financially, how much I need to put aside for the PlayStation with the Blu-ray player. So it looks like that's going to be around 500 US, give or take. The items I would like to pick up, of course, the unit comes with a controller. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to buy a second controller along with the charger, the media remote. And I'm not even sure about the media remote yet. I do have a Logitech remote that I use to control my entertainment system. And I'm sure that the Logitech remote would be able to work with the PlayStation 5. The digital version's not really an interest to me because I have another reason why I'm going to, that I'm going to get into in a second, why I want the optical. That's enough for the gaming part of it. Like I said, I'm not a huge gamer, but I do enjoy playing some games. And of course, having an 8-year-old, it's great just sitting down, vegging out, playing a video game with him. What I think the PlayStation might be for a lot of home theater enthusiasts, it might be that Nvidia Shield replacement. It might be the streaming console king. You know, that's a big title, and I think that's where the PlayStation 5 can probably end up. So to put things, I guess, into perspective, when I first started using Plex years ago, it was with my PlayStation 3. That's where I really saw the potential of a media server, and using my PlayStation 3, being able to play that same movie that you ripped from a Blu-ray, store it on your computer, and just have access to it from anywhere at all time. And you know, if I'm in the house, that one-to-one conversion, so there's really no difference between putting in a physical Blu-ray into the PlayStation at the time or streaming it through Plex, was just a game changer for me. And I immediately ripped my entire library onto my PC, and I've used my PC as my media server, and I use my PlayStation 3 as the client to view the content. Now that brings me to current time. Now, right now, I'm using an Nvidia Shield. Nvidia Shield is a great little device, super powerful. The processor on it is awesome. Great, you know, it has like 3 gigs of RAM, lots of I/O, USB 3. It has Bluetooth, so I can listen with headphones. Just a great little media device that is also a gaming console, a super tiny, powerful little gaming console that has a crap ton of features. Now, what I'm wondering is, as powerful as the PlayStation 5 is on paper, how well is it going to stack up to the Nvidia Shield as a streaming device, as a media client? I don't think I would ever try to use it as a media server. At first, I have no reason to, because I'm using my Synology NAS as my media server, but to be able to use it as a client, it's just a powerful device. I can imagine shuffling through, starting from the top of my movie library and just shuffling all the way to the bottom and seeing every poster just populating immediately. I can't imagine it taking any time to, you know, fill it up. Streaming 4K movies right now with my Nvidia Shield and my Synology NAS, it spins up pretty quickly, but I'm just envisioning with solid state of the PlayStation, with the RAM, with the processor, the video card in the PlayStation, I just imagine it being an awesome experience. I'm hoping that all of the standards that's built into the Nvidia Shield is in the PlayStation. You know, your HDR, your Dolby Audio, your Dolby Vision, DTX, all your audio codecs, everything. I'm really hoping that, number one, it's simple to set up and configure, and number two, that those things are there. And if they're there, you know, PlayStation might give that Nvidia Shield a challenge. Now, the difference is, of course, the Nvidia Shield is this big and the PlayStation is a behemoth. You know, the PlayStation is definitely grown in size over the years, and this one is supposed to be the largest unit yet. Okay, so pretty much I'm satisfied with the unveiling of the PS5. The only information I was left wanting was what's on the back. I'm hoping, of course, the highest standard when it comes to HDMI. I'm really hoping that they put a couple of USB-C ports on the back. That way you can hook up an additional maybe solid state drive and get some good speeds, because we all know the speed coming from the internal solid state drive, and it looks like it's going to be a 1 terabyte solid state drive on the inside. That's going to be pretty fast. But if you're going to have games that you can load from an external hard drive, and you got a 2 terabyte external solid state drive, then you should get fairly decent speeds. If it's a mechanical drive, that's going to be your bottleneck. So yeah, I'm really hoping that the back has, of course, Ethernet, and I suspect gigabit Ethernet, but it would be nice if it has maybe instead of 10 GBE, maybe 2.5 or 5 GBE. I don't really foresee that. That's just wishful thinking. For the aesthetics, what I would prefer is if it was all black, because I don't really like the look of it. If it was all black and I put it in my media cabinet, it kind of disappears into the darkness of the media cabinet as opposed to the white that just kind of jumps right out at you. I'm hoping that the lights are RGB lights and they'll be assignable. So if I wanted to change the color from the blue, I can change it to whatever color I desire. And while I am not crazy about the white, I would probably prefer a black or a gray, and I'm hoping there's some company out there, D-Brand Skin, I'm looking at you, create a skin that we can put on this thing, because I'm sure there's a lot of us out there that's not crazy about a bright white PlayStation 5. I'm really curious to see how the PlayStation 5, how I'll be able to use it as a Plex client. I do feel like once I get it and I start using it, if I can use it to stream Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus, and the sound is where I want it to be, and Amazon Prime Videos, all of these things that I utilize right now on the Nvidia Shield, if I'm able to do those things on the PlayStation with the same level of proficiency as the Nvidia Shield, might be the one device after all these years to dethrone the Nvidia Shield. Now, the Nvidia Shield, 180, 200 bucks. PlayStation, just to get off the ground, 400 to 500 bucks. So it's price-wise, it's not a one-to-one comparison. Power-wise, it's not a one-to-one comparison. But the way it's utilized, is that going to be so powerful that it knocks the Nvidia Shield off of the top as far as your home theater enthusiast streaming device? Let me know. Let me know you guys' thoughts. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about the PlayStation as far as it being used for Plex? If you're Plexing yourself, are you looking forward to the PlayStation 5 to utilize it as a Plex client? Are you interested in even using the PlayStation 5 as maybe a Plex media server? So let me know you guys' thoughts. But looking forward to getting it in my hand. Once I get it, I'm good. Once it comes out, I'm pre-ordering it immediately. I know I already put aside enough to pre-order it and pick up a bunch of stuff. So I'm all set. I'm super excited. Waiting from now until November is gonna drive me nuts. So that's it for now. Feel free to like the video if you guys liked anything you heard. If you got any questions, please leave questions in the comments section. While you're at it, be sure to subscribe. And when you subscribe, please hit that notification bell so whenever I post these videos, giving my thoughts about tech, you guys will be notified and you can jump on it and just join in, and we can have discussions and talk about what's going on in the world of tech. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay safe.